happening already on a Thursday night. And our guest tonight, Birds of Squalor, as I mentioned.
Welcoming back the Birds of Squalor.
We have Chris of the High and Jamie Dunn.
Chris Van de Hee.
Hey, Van de Hey. It's like Van de Hey.
Van de Hey. And Van de Hey is of the high in what language?
Dutch. The wooden shoes. Yep. Got the of the hills, and then it really translates to of the high. It just means that my ancestors lived on a hill somewhere in the Dutchland.
So can you clog?
I can't. I can't do any kind of dancing.
Damn.
So, but I can shoot some hoops. So I got Western European height.
We've never had anyone on the show who could clog. You could have been the first.
So
built like a tank.
So his relatives were basically Dutch hillbillies. They'd been sent up into the hills like the hillbillies running from the local authorities.
Yeah, well, it's perfect because like every one of the Van de Heys is like 6 foot plus, and built like linebackers. And my grandpa Van de Hey, he was a bus accident away from being a household name for the MLB. He got hurt in an accident when he got signed to the Cubs after World War II, and messed up his shoulder. They called him Buster because he could literally throw a pitch that got past like every hitter. So they needed to bring him in and knock people out pretty quick.
My grandpa was the first white guy to play in the colored leagues. No, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. It would be cool if it was. It'd be sweet. I mean, he obviously wouldn't have been very good. But, I mean,
that was the
point.
He
would have lost many games.
Yeah, it was there to like put the point in as like, hey, look how good these guys actually are. Gotta have some juxtaposition here so people understand. Like, hey, this is how it is.
Did you say his name was Van de Hey?
No, well, everybody called him Grandpa Van. But his name was I'm actually named after him, Leonard. So Leonard Van de Hey. Yeah.
Van de Hey would have been just a little
two on the nose.
Presenting Van Winston Van de Hey.
Yep. Of the hills.
I had to clear that one up.
Yeah. Everybody always called him Grandpa Van. So
you're.
Did he wear Vans?
Did he wear what?
Like, aren't those tennis shoes?
They are.
Oh yeah.
Did he wear Vans?
No, but I did. I guess back in middle school. Back when I was trying to skate.
I suddenly feel like
I
suddenly feel like Vans are Dutch shoes. Like
originally
they were clogs.
Yeah, and that's what they changed into.
Canvas clogs.
People stopped clogging and started skating.
Yeah, they're just canvas clogs. That's all they are. Canvas clogs, man.
Well, Pigpen and I both lived in Vans.
Yeah,
from time to time.
That's fair.
Right
By the river.
I lived in a van while I wore Vans. So.
We bought Vans off each other.
Yeah.
Truly, this is not made up.
These are facts that can be proven by the registries at the DMV.
Yep.
By the DMV.
They're the best vehicles for hauling things. They're closed.
That's so awesome.
They're, like, you can open them all up and everything. And that's what we use for moving the Birds of Squalor around. Is a 2005 Dodge Caravan.
I have owned more vans than any other kind of vehicle, even more than pickups, and I've owned a lot of those. But the difference between like a pickup and a van, you can haul gear in both of them, but you can really just live in the van.
Yeah,
at least I
need
could.
Be. Yeah.
If need be, if want be. I mean,
just get out of the house.
Sometimes you just choose it. You're just like, you know what, van life is the life for me.
Yeah.
Big Ben was watching Saturday Night Live. He's seen Chris Farley, and he's like, what a great idea.
Yeah.
Living in a van down by the river.
I've got a river near me.
Every time I see that bit, I'm like, he's living the dream.
Yeah.
He's really living the dream.
We would make trips down to New Orleans and hang out with the homeless. That's what, we didn't actually get down to the Bourbon Street. We just
we'd be in the Jackson Square. We'd probably wander down Bourbon. Who knows? Hanging out with whoever. It's in most major cities. If you find yourself in a major city and you look like me, you're not wearing a suit and you don't have a determined I'm chasing a dollar look. Mm-hmm. Pretty much just homeless people and hookers talk to you.
Well, that's where you guys fit in. That's where you guys fit in like perfectly. You find the homeless, like, this is our people.
I thought you meant the hookers. I was like, yeah, okay.
That comes later.
Hey, it's family show. It's not talking about where we fit in and where we don't.
And I thought we were going to be the problem ones having to edit ourselves. That intro was the best one I've ever heard. It was the most unique one yet. It's like I watch the show all the time and like he's got it down. I was like, tell him before you got here, I was like, I want to do the intro. I want to do the part where he's like, Riverbend talent, Matt Van Voris and everything. And then he wasn't in here and you had to do it and screwed it all up. And it was the most unique one yet. So thanks for that, guys.
There's been 100 times I had to run back there and hit record at the last minute. And today was the day you couldn't just run back there and hit record. Nothing was set up, right? And so, I think you jinxed us.
Hey, it's very possible.
It's a typical thing that happens.
Yeah, a mistake to one person is a piece of art to another, and to me, that's a piece of art.
Well, when we started this show, we broke all the rules, and we continue to.
Yeah.
We've actually proven that dead air is good.
Yeah.
In radio, because
the one radio station.
When it goes silent, everyone looks at their radio. And that's when you say, "How the music on?" So if you want to use that with Connect Video, Chris.
That's fair. It was like,
I mean, the big dead air pause. That's what made old like Paul Harvey. And now,
for some fanfare,
the rest of the story.
It's a moment of suspense.
It's the cliffhanger, man.
So the real reason you guys are here is to talk about Saturday night down at the Conservatory, right?
Yeah, we have Saturday night down at the Conservatory, and then our first show is this version of the Birds of Squalor at Pops since pre-Rona. So, couple of cool things going on for the Birds crew. Scrap and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, we need to get the Birds crew on, the Bird Boys. They haven't been playing out too much. It's kind of like a special thing." And it was kind of a minor hiatus that we were on, and then this year, whenever we were on the phone, I was telling him that we're trying to do at least one show a month now. So
so that's our new philosophy.
That's a good one.
One show a month.
That's a good one,
at least,
especially for an original band.
I was going to say that's even. For an original band, that in an area where you're not traveling, going state to state and stuff, that's even pretty hefty, because you know what I mean. You play every 4 weeks and you're playing originals. That's kudos.
Yeah. Well, plus you get to hit different areas. Like we'll be on this side of the river, then we'll be at Pops, then we'll be downtown at Red Flag, then we'll be somewhere in St. Charles, something like that. So you can kind of hit different demographics. So you can play the same terrible songs and they're new to people because they never heard them before.
And we've
first and last time.
Are you reading my mail? I mean,
I beg to differ. Your songs are not horrible. I listened to the EP all day today. Carry On.
Yeah.
Carry On My Wayward EP.
Yep. Carry On My Wayward Bird.
Yeah. Actually, it goes back to what you said earlier about roadkill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what it means.
Yep.
Well, I can't stop thinking about it.
That's awesome. Just Birds of Squalor. It's perfect for us too, because we'll get like 90% professional. And there's that 10% that we're just like, squalorly. Who cares?
Yep.
Well,
you need to go up on top of the bluffs and film the turkey vultures.
Yeah. That would actually be good. We actually probably get our drummer to go wrestle some of them. And
there you go.
Probably.
They have talons, right? Because they need to if they don't.
Yeah.
Riverbend talons.
Right. Actually, that's what happens on the closed caption. It comes up Riverbend Talon, I swear.
Riverbend Talon.
I'll leave it that way this week just because of you guys.
It's perfect.
Graham Pagano. So him.
He just played the wedding with Hookie at the officiating.
So before he was in our fine town, he was out in L.A. Going to the Guitar Institute of Technology, and my good friend was going to Scott Roberts was going to Percussion Institute. They had a band together called Talons out in L.A. They called me like, "We got a band called Talons." I'm like, that's a pretty cool name right there. Hey, there you go. So you guys aren't alone Saturday. You got a band from Indiana coming into play.
Yeah, Controller. I don't know. I think they're just called Controller. It's not Controller 33. I don't know the 33 why that's on there necessarily, but that's part of it.
The camera over.
Yeah, I think so. It's all right. It's fine.
He's trying to show off a picture, which wasn't going to work because he's going to hold it right next to the thing. It's not going to focus.
I was going to try and show the picture there.
It was Jamie singing with Hookie, so that's why I was showing him.
And I knocked the camera over when I did, so it's fine. It's all fine.
We're back. We're having one of those nights.
Yeah.
So
squalorly.
Controller from Indiana, Foxland, right?
Yeah, those are the two national acts, I believe.
Touring, yeah.
So I wasn't sure if it was Controller Foxland.
Yeah, no, they're different bands.
Okay.
They are different bands. And if you listen to them, you can tell that they're different bands as well.
Well, I would hope so. And then our buddy's Age 7.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know that one. Look at the last name, Pigpen. Go to Saturday. This is one of your bands that you're going to be like, really? That's her name?
right, I'm digging for it here.
So Saturday?
Saturday, Beyond FM. Here we go.
No. Conservatory, right at the top, bud.
Nope. All right. Saturday.
Read
Sorry, Here we go. Controller. Foxland, Birds of Squalor. Lousy with Coyotes. Oh, is that the band? That is a good one. Okay.
And from what we gather, they're relatively new, actually, too.
Yeah, it was we had trouble kind of scraping the net and finding them initially, even.
Because we do our research.
You keep coming up with the Wildy Coyote.
Yeah, well, I mean, after they get hit by the car, guess who swoops down and eats them?
That's what I was about to think.
They're the carrion.
Yeah, they're the carrion.
For sure.
I see it as a cleaning service, okay?
Yeah. They're
the bone.
Oh, yeah, there'll be nothing left of those Birds of Squalor. They'll pick them clean. The Coyotes are going to pick them clean at the end.
Gotta keep us nice, fat, and happy.
No roadkill will be left.
No.
Not a Foxland in the road.
Right.
Nope.
Oh, man. Oh, there you
so
go.
it's been a while since Carrion came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, 22, I want to say?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. Yep.
You guys, last time you were on, that's what was happening.
Yep, we were getting ready to gear up for the EP release show. The one that the last founding member flew into town for the show. Went off great. We had over 100 people packed into the Conservatory, and everybody had a good time. Justin and them were happy because they made some good money and everything. And we kind of solidified ourselves. We had our scrims that we had just got in the mail that day, and they took up like half the stage. And you could just smell the formaldehyde on it. It was wild. Like I said, 90% professional. The last 10% is just squalorly.
We had to reorder those too, didn't we?
Yeah, right. The week of the show, they came in and they were burned, and we were like, "Oh, geez." And we're like, "Are they supposed to look like this? Totally cool if so." And they're like, "No, they're not." So now we use the old scrims as like a tablecloth that shows for our merch table, and everybody's kind of like, "That's pretty cool."
Yep.
This one's a little melty.
Yeah. Well, they're not technically like really burned. It's a term for they're ruined.
They're not to quality.
So you casually mentioned a lineup change. I know Nate's still the drummer because he's a vet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Shout out to Nate.
Yep.
And of course Jamie's still the vocalist.
Yep.
Yep.
And you're still there.
Yeah. So I'm still one of the guitars, and then
there's Mikey.
Yeah, he's the new member. He's the new bird.
Mm-hmm.
We just swore him in about a month ago.
Yep.
His last name's really Marshall.
Yeah, Michael Marshall. Michael Allen Marshall. Yep.
He plays a Marshall.
He
right?
doesn't. He plays an EVH, and now in our old age, I play Marshall, but in our old age, we're making the slow transition to all digital. So it's just less stuff to carry.
Well, EVH. I'm sure Eddie was thinking Marshall when he was making that thing. So I mean,
very likely.
It's in the ballpark.
I think it was originally Fender. I got a Fender one, and then it switched to PV.
Yeah, of yours?
The EVH stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've got like one of the old Fender ones, and then I think PV ended up taking.
Yeah,
it over.
that makes sense. Yeah.
There you go, man. So you guys got plans to head back into the studio?
Yeah. So we basically, because Jack had left, and then Brock kind of came in. He ended up having tinnitus, however you want to pronounce it, and he had to bow out. Among other things, and then we kind of went on hiatus, like not hiatus, but it was just me on guitar. So we were kind of looking around. We played a few shows last year, like kind of Jude noted too, and everything like that. And then actually, he was driving for Uber one day and picked up a person from the airport. And she was like, "Oh, you're into metal, awesome, great." So she brings this guy she's kind of seeing to one of our shows. And then he's like, "Hey, if you guys are looking for a guitar player," and we're like, "We actually are." So one of those same things here in Alton. We found Jamie at the Ragin Cajun, and then we found Mikey at one of our shows at the Conservatory. So we just farm our own backyard for people that are crazy enough to join the band.
Yep. Pretty much.
So who replaced Brock then?
So Mikey did. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was just me on guitar, and I was like, I really want a second guitar player. Just sounds fuller, go to those solo sections and just having the bass there, And then we were like, oh, should we do tracks, stuff like that, and have Nate play to a click. And then we kind of tried that. Yeah, it's just too much, and we're just not that kind of band, We're a little bit more loose.
Yeah, I was gonna say it forces you into you have to do this, and it takes away. Which I mean, if that's what you're doing, great. It's not. I'm not saying anything against it. It's a tough gig to pull off, but it does. I do like the freedom of it.
Yeah, you have to be a superior musician, and I come from more of a blues jam rock background, so it's not my forte. I'll hit a solo and just like, hey, some things will change night to night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or add a chord here or whatever.
I thought you were going there with Mikey replacing Brock, but I'm like, where's the bass player?
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, he's been there.
Yep,
yeah,
he's been there.
So there's Joe.
Yeah.
He's the one who actually got me into the band.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
And so this could have went backwards, and you went back to bass, Chris.
Yeah, so I started on bass, right? Yeah, and then moved up, got promoted to
Got promoted.
and then
bass players are always just the worst guitar player in the band.
But the crazy thing about this story is the founding member is not around anymore.
Yeah, he's in
Jack.
He's in Arizona. He's the last one. His brother Brad, he actually passed away 2023. We dedicated a whole show to him, and then the original drummer Ryan, he's up in Peoria with his family and everything. He had to get a bigger boy job to support his family and everything. So, and then Jack has his free spirit and moved down to Arizona with all the buzzards. So.
Right, and so you guys got any plans to head out to Arizona and do a show? I mean, there's metal in Arizona.
Oh yeah,
there is. Yeah, we've talked about it multiple times. Now that we're going digital, it's a little bit easier, right? So just mail it, just pick it up there.
Mail it, right?
So we've talked about it for sure. Jack's super busy though. He's always got a billion ideas. So he's got the job that he works, and then he's got all these crazy ideas of like, I'm gonna open a mobile car dealer or a mobile car washing or detailing. That's it. Mobile car detailing business and do this and do this and do this. So he's kind of ADHD with his ideas. So one day we'll make it out there. Every time we make a plan to at least go see them, because we've got a place to stay, and then I've got hundreds of thousands of flying points. So it's a free trip outside of what I spend there.
Right.
And I still haven't made it. But every time we get close to going, it's like
something happens,
and we're like, oh well, put that on pause. And they've been to town like 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah. Mobile detailing, though. It's
Well, Arizona, you got dust everywhere, so it's great. People that want to keep their cars clean and stuff, you can just
nobody's got time to stop by the detailer.
Right, so they come to you.
Yeah, you come do it while I'm in here watching, TV.
Yeah, very much. I sold a Buick a couple years ago, and there's a guy, Luke, here in East Alton that does it. He showed up in his thing and just threw in his earbuds, and an hour later, car looked brand new, and I was like, thanks, man, how much? He's like, $100. I'm like, right on.
So I don't have to do that?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So all the cars are white in Arizona.
Yeah, that or black actually shows worse, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, white because the paint fades on everything else because of the heat.
Yep.
Right? And the number one business out there, auto body. Accidents galore out there.
And it's like they don't do daylight savings, so kudos to them for that one. But then they're like a 20% price difference on everything than we are, inflated 20%. So it's like,
See, when I was down there, what I saw a lot of was the ICE or whatever it is, that border patrol people. They were like, every time you think you see like a cop on the side of the road, it's border patrol, and they looked at me like I didn't belong.
They knew, yeah.
Why aren't you picking oranges over there?
Yeah, I've only ever been to Phoenix for like an evening, because I've been across the U.S. a couple of times, but yeah, I definitely want to go back to Arizona. They just have cool architecture, It's a little bit different.
Yeah, all Spanish stuff. I spent some time down in Tucson, like kind of right on the border of Mexico there, and pretty close, and it's a field away from Mexico, so it's very Spanish.
Yeah. We were hoping Mikey was going to make it, because we'd love to have you guys kind of grill him a little bit, but we'll have to get him in the future, so maybe do a recorded show with him or something. But
let's talk smack on him since he's not here.
He's hopefully listening. I told him, I'm like, we're going to have at least 3 listeners if you're not making it, guys. Like, you're still committed to this, dang it. You just can't defend yourself.
Now that's a marketer right there. Yep. You can tell this guy's with Connect Videos, like, I got 3 guaranteed listeners. All I gotta do is leave half my band home. Beautiful.
He's working the numbers in his head over here, man.
We can't talk smack on Nate though, because if he was here, he wouldn't say anything. Maybe one word, right?
You
So
know,
we wanted.
Yeah, it's called Sure.
Yeah, we wanted to have him clear that up too, because last time his last name is Diggs, and Scrap heard Jigs. So he's like, "There's no way this guy's name is Jigs. That's no name that I've ever heard of." So now it's stuck. And check this out. So he's a code enforcer out in Arnold.
Yeah.
Special Agent Jigs.
So it's stuck. It's
Oh,
stuck.
wow.
It's become a thing. So Scrap's mishearing from all the loud music turned into Jigs, and now he is Special Agent Jigs.
You know,
Yeah.
he used to say all the time, "I'm known by many names," because he was ripping someone off, and he was saying that. But what he does now is he changes many bands' names. Now that's accurate.
Right.
It's the Mandela effect.
Right.
The Nelson Mandela effect.
We got the red doses.
Right? Oh, yeah. I love red doses. Blue dose, green doses.
First one I
Not
could
the
think
purple.
of.
Not the purple.
He just ends up turning us into penguins in tuxedos or something like that.
Well, see, that's where you guys are on fire. Because why change Birds of Squalor?
Yeah.
It's too much fun in that already.
Yeah. Plus, like 90% of the time, I just say birds that swallow, and nobody notices the difference but me. And I'm like,
The amount of compliments I actually get on the name, surprisingly, is kind of incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Get a lot. It's like, that's an awesome name. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Birds That Swallow is actually like a gentleman's club over in Europe I've been to. I don't know if you've ever been there. Over in Amsterdam.
I haven't. Next time I go home, I'll check it out.
Red Light District, Amsterdam.
Got it.
And your bird can sing and swallow.
I'll take your word for it.
That's awesome. But yeah, no, we've been working on some of the new music and everything like that. So we're looking back to get back in studio with Mr. Michael Bivens, and we've got about 8 or 9 songs kind of hashed out.
Yeah.
Our intention, I was like, all right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. Instead of kind of putting 4 together, and these are only 4 songs that we have, and then we're kind of not happy with a couple of them years later. Let's write 30 songs, sharpen the knife on our abilities here. Pick the best, 5 or 6, and then that'll be the ones. So we're at like 20 something now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our kind of 6 or 7 kind of picked out of that. So.
Yep. A lot left on the cutting room floor.
Yes, always.
That's going to be a mess to clean up later.
I'm used to editing, so if there's anything I know, it's what's got to go.
Right?
Yeah, well, I like that approach because I've been at times I've been with guys where they'll have 10 songs and they want to do an album, and you're like, yeah, but these 3 they're all pretty lame.
Yeah.
But these 3 are specifically lame.
Just
I
like
thought you were going to say
fillers.
those 3 are the good ones. The other ones are trash.
Me and Dennis just had this conversation a couple weeks ago about how I'll be talking to people about writing music or playing music, and you don't see me go out and play music. You don't see me having CDs. It's because every time I listen to my song, I'm like, yeah, that's lame. It's like you. I know what to leave out, which is pretty much everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing is I used to write these 5-6 long epics, and it's like what you really need to do is get those 3 minutes down and make those super entertaining so people want to re-listen to it, so it's always good for them to kind of rail me in a little bit,
Dylan was big on that, where he would write 3 pages and then take all these verses and get them down to the 3 or 4 best verses, or sometimes he would just go on with all 15 of them. He would be like, I don't feel like editing it.
Right. Yeah.
Buckle up, because I'm about to tell you a story.
Right, and it's gonna ramble on and on. But they had their Neil Young says he doesn't edit. He says he doesn't write his songs; they're given to him, and he writes them down the way they're given to him, and he doesn't edit it. But I'm more like you, where it's like if I can write 2 pages and get 2 lines out of it, then I'm like, those 2 lines aren't bad.
Yeah. Well, luckily he takes care of all the lyrics and vocals, and I'm trash at that. So he'll come to me, he's like, what do you think about these? And I'm like, it's good, great. And then I can't really put it in context till I hear it on the song,
right.
And then it's like, okay, cool. Now I can kind of hear the words, the emotions, and visualize it all and everything. And that's where I can kind of start, okay, we need this word said here. Maybe change this, how this vowel sounds or whatever. Maybe if you said this word here, let's call this song that. But yeah, it's kind of how we operate, which is great because everybody kind of fills in the weak spots, and somebody has, just kind of stay in their lane. Jamie, don't write any music, and then he's written several songs for us. But
are you familiar with Jason Isabel?
No.
He was in a band called the Drive-By Truckers when he was a teenager, and but now he's been doing songs on his own. Puts out an album every couple years, whatever. But he was married to this gal Amanda Shire. She's a fiddle player. And I just watched a documentary on Netflix or whatever on him, and I didn't know she's got a master's in creative writing, and he's like showing her his songs, and she's like telling him, "You got to change that one word," you know. And I'm going. I remember thinking, "Wow, on one hand, that would be so cool to have somebody to advise you and go, hey, you know, that's not bad, but you should do this or that." But I get the feeling that she'd be like, you can keep this one word. The rest of this has to change.
Right.
But that, you know, that's interesting that you'll sit down with the lyrics and you know.
I try to make them. It's not a. It's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, he's so proud about him and everything, and we're like, yeah. Then it's not until they're actually putting the song, because I'm kind of a writer and like poetry and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's like once I hear it in the music, then it clicks.
Well, and sometimes with lyrics, it is sort of like that. Sometimes you're just writing a story.
Yep.
And the story's a story with or without the music or whatever. And there's other times that it are lyrics that are meant to just be said with emotion to tell the story. And it is harder to, I found myself that way a few times where it's like, this song's weird. It's just a few weird lines. But when you hear it with the music, it makes perfect sense. It doesn't seem like just a few little weird lines that are scribbled together.
Yeah, I mean, Fish has done that. There's been a couple other bands, that you hear, they've just kind of put like, this is perfect for that kind of thing. What was the name of that doc, real quick?
It's called, if you look up Jason Isabel document, I think running something.
Gotcha.
Running from nothing.
I can Google that.
Google Jason Isabel and running, and
they'll find something. Yeah.
So it's funny that you're talking about editing, because today, while I'm listening to your EP Carrion, right, 4 songs is what's on it. But what jumped out at me this time, because back in the day, you put an album on, there was always a couple songs that were like extras.
Yeah.
We just had to fill out the album.
Right.
And the first song that jumped out to me today was Space Between.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they name that because this is space between?
So that was the song we had to rush at the end, because that was the takeaway from that first EP and experiment, was that Jack was leaving, and we knew that, so we had to kind of expedite the process a bit. We didn't have time to kind of sit in it, and Bivens came to us and said, hey, so these other songs that you have that you want to put on this EP aren't cohesive. So we actually started the song out calling it Not Cohesive, and kind of intentionally had all these like parts that didn't fit a whole.
Right.
And then with Space Between, he put the lyrics together and just made sense. So it's kind of a joke. And then, it's one of our crowd favorites, but as like an actual piece of work in art, like a song, it's awful, because it's like bam, 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 it's like proggy, but not. And it's like, this is, what is going on here, But live, it's one of the ones that hit the hardest,
Oh, yeah, it's that change right after the beginning.
Yeah.
You get the little intro, and then it goes into that heavy bom.
Everything bounces.
Yeah.
So
it's a jump up and down song.
We'll start shows with that song. It's like, whoa, who are these guys? And all of a sudden, dead.
Yep. Totally. Grabbed me that way, too.
Yep.
Of course, Hellbound Road kicking it off, and that's what you got the video for, where you guys filmed in your barn.
In his barn.
And it was like
property.
85 degrees, and you guys are up on the top.
It was worse than that. Yep. It was October and 90.
It was 85, and then it was 95.
Well, it was 95 in the barn,
Yeah.
And we're all wearing black and leather jackets.
Very sweaty day.
Right, because it was October, so you thought...
Yeah, that's exactly
we were
what
expecting.
Thinking.
Yeah, we were expecting autumn weather.
If I have 2.5 weeks, I'll have this edited by Halloween. We'll be good to go. The songs will be mastered by then. Let's do this. Let's shoot it early October. Be nice and cool. And then, with this whole weather pattern change and everything, we're getting up north with the, El Nino years back to back and stuff. It was just like, nope. Gotcha. So we've got this giant fan sitting there blowing on us the whole time.
And
so because we are just dying.
I don't even know what to call the mask that you got on, but the thing's got a beak, and there's one shot where there's like sweat dripping off the beak.
That was actually blood, but it looked like sweat. Yeah, that's like the plague doctor.
That's what
mask.
I thought of because I knew the story. Yeah,
the plague doctor mask.
Yeah, that was my demon.
Yeah, because all the masks that we all wore were like representing the demons that the vices that hold people, and that could be drugs and alcohol. It could be working out too much. It could be anything that kind of fast food, whatever it might be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
listening to the radio.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
What is that?
Right. I can't do anything else.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Birds of Squalor. They're going to be playing Saturday night at the Conservatory with Lousy with Coyotes, Foxland, H7, And controller from Indiana. You say Foxland's
It's great. You know,
Foxland's
whenever
from
you-
out of town too, right?
Yeah, Foxland
believe
and
they're both
Controller
from
out of town.
Indiana.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's great when you know somebody so well that you're like, that band name's gonna get scrappy, and he hears it again and just loses it.
It's just
Yeah.
that's a good name.
Yeah.
There are certain names that tickle me, when I hear them. And,
So that's a perfect
goofy
segue.
one.
We'll go into our bands real quick and
Yeah, that'll be a good time there.
Road to Point Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Intrusive Minds, H7, who will be playing with Birds of Squalor on Saturday night, but they'll be at Pops along with Hard Handed, Dead Birds Can Fly, and these birds may have objection to that. I don't know.
But
Dead birds can be-
dead bird squalor
Dead birds can be scooped up and carried away.
by
So
a lousy coyote.
I guess they can fly. And then Beekman, the other band, playing at the Road to Point Fest.
It's all about the birds.
We need to get all these bands together on one
And just make it a
bill.
super group.
And well, I had a job for a while where like you have to change the batteries and all the birds, and I was one of the guys who had to do that. You got to stay up late to do that. It's an overnight job.
Yep, birds aren't real.
Birds are not real.
Also going on Friday night.
They could be.
Right. Also Saturday night, we got pianos down at Ragin' Cajun. Sometimes it's not pianos. We'll get to Jamie in a little while and talk more about Ragin' Cajun. But also, we mentioned the Birds of Squalor.
And so it begins.
I love it. The Birds of Squalor.
Who's changing band names now?
Right. But at the Conservatory Saturday night, we'll talk more about that. Dawn and Sean. And all mixed up at Fast Eddie's on Saturday.
All right.
Borderline Acoustic at Baker's and Hale. Flip side. They say at Doc Holliday's and Cottage Chills, but I don't think that's open now. So that may have been old.
Yeah, I think that closed.
Yeah. Porch Cafe, they're doing the franchise in Wood River. Rewind 2 to 6 as they start the acoustics down at the Pump House in Wood River again. And Horns Up, 9 o'clock.
All right.
Down at the Pump House. And there it is, Jay Hollinger and Matt Tall. Night number 2 at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville.
Right on, man.
Blue Moon Blues
The
Band.
Greater Good and the Midwest Avengers.
Right.
Who would the Midwest Avengers be? You don't have Hulk. You got I don't.
Does,
Hookers, Wigglers, Fast Eddie.
does Mr. Tony Willingham at Beyond FM 24/7 have a copy of the EP from Birds of Squalor?
So I don't know that he has a physical one, but I plan on getting him one.
Yes.
I've been wanting to meet him in person for several years now.
Great guy.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. He's hand-delivered tickets to me out in Morrow last week. So
Right.
He hand-delivered
hand-delivered.
the tickets.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You
I heard it.
You
Yeah.
remember doing that, Big Ben?
Oh, yeah.
You had to
Oh,
travel
yeah.
all over with tickets?
Oh yeah.
And
And
I
he-
mean, that's not like, going from here to Bethalto. That's
Right.
like an hour drive.
Yeah.
So,
He's in St. Louis.
Yeah.
He drove all the way over to see this guy.
Yeah.
well, my mailbox, but yeah, I still haven't met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's you call that tenacity.
Yes.
The guy is definitely into it, and man, having that playing nothing but local music 24 hours a
Yeah.
day. So you gotta love that. You gotta love frying too, and the Fry Project's gonna be at the Rustic in Warden on Saturday, 7 p.m.
Right. Eric Brooks at H's Bar in Belleville, along with the Mr. Pat Liston's going to be part of the Experience Live Music Row
Nice,
down
nice.
there in Belleville. He'll be at Papa Vito.
And I think that Danny Liston and the rest of Mama's Pride got a show coming up here. I guess that's the next weekend. I didn't see it.
Coming up at the
Coming
Wild
up,
E,
yep,
right?
yep.
Shotgun Creek at Cutters with Brian White in Belleville, and Flip the Frog at halftime in Hillsboro. So there you go. Hey, guess what? This weekend, Sunday as well, Tate Kelly's Bluegrass Open Mic again down at the Lovejoy in Alton, which is for sale, Big Ben.
Oh, really?
Yes, we have 2 venues in town for sale now.
Yeah.
Shea, Maryland, still sitting there, right? As far as I know.
Yep, so as far as I know, too.
Yeah. So there
They
you
do
go.
have the option for leasing now, too.
Yeah. Liquor in the front, hair in the back.
And living upstairs.
Living upstairs.
But the big show is Saturday night at the Conservatory.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You might know some people that are there. Maybe.
Well,
the
the
Birds
rest,
of Squalor.
Yeah.
the rest of the band.
Yeah, the rest of the band will be there. They're going to make that one, hopefully.
Yeah. Nate won't talk much, but he'll be there. And Mike, I don't know that guy's problem, man. It's like I asked him so nice to come tonight. And I'm like, dude, will you just come and hang out? And he's like, oh, I'm too good for you guys. I'm going to be on a real radio station.
We already have that problem already. He's too good for us too.
Yeah, I'm just saying. He's always, got that boa flipped around his neck.
Yeah.
And,
Cheetah print underwear. Shirtless.
Another shirtless guy.
Just a vest.
Still wearing boots.
So at Birds of Squalor.
.com. Birdsthatswaller.com is a whole different website. You don't want to go there. If you do, scrub your browser.
At Birds of Squalor. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Rumble. I don't know.
Still don't know what Rumble is.
I don't know.
Right.
Tumble was the name of Jamie's first band.
Tone Wolf.
Tone Wolf?
Yeah.
Changing all the band names. Here.
All the band names tonight.
Yeah. I threw you guys off when I said he'd do it.
Right, yeah. Circumventing expectations is my favorite thing, so.
I like Tumble.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not true.
My daddy was a tumbler before me, and his daddy was a tumbler before him.
So, not only are you guys Birds of Squalor, but Jamie, you host open mic still down at Ragin' Cajun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's tonight.
Yep, that is tonight.
Now, you're late, bro.
Yep. Yeah.
They start late down.
I was going to say, it
most
doesn't
of
start
the
till like 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't start till 9 p.m.
Bedtime, and
Yeah,
they're
you
like,
gotta
oh,
get
it's time to
set up,
start.
man.
I have a co-host for that.
And I was talking to you earlier about, it's not pianos all the time now at Ragin' Cajun, right? It's a little different.
Yeah, they're switching it up. It's a modular stage now. We were able to move equipment up and down so that we were able to adhere to whatever kind of performances that we have going on that weekend.
Right? They still got you running, though.
Yep, still running.
We thank you very much for what you do.
Yeah. Every Thursday, right, at the Ragin' Cajun.
Every Thursday starting at 9, and the list goes fast.
Yeah, fill up quick.
Yeah,
Get
the
there
list,
at 7, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So at 7 o'clock is when you start putting names on the list.
Well, as soon as we get there and as soon as we get the list out, yeah.
As soon as you get, which is about what time usually?
I'm usually there by like 7:30, 8 o'clock, but I know for a fact Scott, and shout out to Scott, my fellow co-host, he's doing a bang-up job. He's usually there by like 6, already like helping mop floors and
Nice.
showing me up a little bit.
Well, yeah.
I still show up like the casual rock star,
90% professional, 10%
Yeah,
squalor.
right. There we go.
Yep. Introducing Master Dunn.
Yep. He sits right there with a bugle at the door waiting for him.
And Chris Bandahay, you're you're 1/4 owner of Connect Video.
Yeah, we're actually 1/3 now.
Oh,
we
moving
just,
up.
Lost a partner back about a month ago. He got contacted from a big marketing company that needed somebody, and it was worth his time to give up ownership of our small business to go work for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So.
When you first said you lost him, I was gonna ask how long did you spend looking? Because people sometimes are just sitting around, they're not really lost.
Yeah,
they're just
I know. It's like my
misplaced.
virginity. I lost and I can't find it.
Right, it's misplaced.
Yeah,
I've misplaced my virginity.
Whoops.
It's with my dignity somewhere. I don't know
100%.
where. Haven't seen him since the 80s.
So after all that wonderful talk there, tell the people about Connect Video.
It's the perfect lead into Connect
Right.
Video. Speaking of virginity.
Yeah, so Connect Video just makes video easy for small businesses. That's the idea, coming up with video ideation to getting a plan together to writing scripts, obviously the production, the editing, and even as far as the distribution, so getting that out in front of your preferred customer avatar, making sure that you're getting an ROI on the actual videos themselves. We noticed very early on that a lot of video production companies say, here's your video, have fun, and they didn't know what to do with it. They were like, well, okay, we got a video now, how do we actually get this in front of people? So we have solutions there. And in 2024 here, we're partnering with about 10 different local marketing companies that don't currently offer video production to their clients, that can do that with us, and they can earn a commission, or they can kind of white label our service, and they kind of tap into what we have as productized video services and offer that to their customers, where they don't have to manage a team, and it's a little bit cheaper and affordable to do it outside, and then we can just kind of hey, here's the stuff, you guys can now offer this to your clients, and they have the marketing plan behind it. And we're actually in talks with the Big Z here for the Big Z Media for some of that as well, to offer it to the Alton area. It's a beta program, but it's one that the companies were contacting us initially at the end of 2023 saying like, hey, the stock stuff isn't working. Can you guys make videos for us? And we're like, yeah. And we're like, well, we're already productized. Let's just make a program and work with marketing companies to develop this out, because it's obviously a need. And it's very successful that we reach out. The marketing companies get it. They're like, we love this. This is awesome. We need this for our customers. So I'd say in the next year or so, it's going to be something that's out of beta and kind of really rocking and rolling. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, and then you're forming a networking group too, right?
Yeah, got they got the Cult, the BNI, the Business Networking International, the Real Estate Collaborative, used to be part of Mastermind, and Real Producers of St. Louis is a local magazine that works with the top influencers in the real estate market, both on the buyer and seller side, but also all the vendors for that as well. So yeah, got a lot of hands in different things and getting to know people. And what's cool about St. Louis, the metro area, is that there's a lot of overlap. So it's a big area, but a small business community. So it's like the 2 degrees from bacon. You can find people pretty quickly from one another, and seeing each other at a lot of the similar events and stuff like that. So you meet a lot of friends and stuff. So you got to make sure you're doing a good job, or else they can really tarnish your name pretty quickly.
Right, and so you're looking for folks too to join these networking groups.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we're always looking
like
for
what?
Yeah, we're always looking for a lot of a contractor space to build out. We're looking for wedding videographers, plumbers. We're looking for HVAC. We're looking for, I think we just actually had a general contractor join. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that we're looking for. I mean, just about any business, and basically there's only one per category in the networking group that can be represented, so they get all the business, and then we just work together to feed each other business. And currently we're the number one out of 60 in the area that are doing this thing, and we've done just about $900,000 in shared business collectively in the past 6 months. So it's a great way to really share the business and help each other out and support each other's businesses and families and that kind of stuff. So it's a great way to network.
Yeah, and you were talking about helping people get their stuff out there to be seen. I mean, you guys as a band do that with other bands.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I see a lot of other band stuff on your pages.
Yeah, we're very much about community over competition, because just like I said, the St. Louis business area is a small, tight-knit community. So is the music scene, and I want it to be the most successful thing possible. So the more we can share, the more they can share, the more that it feels camaraderie and not so much like a competition, the better, I think.
Right. Yeah. We've talked many times on this show about back when we were first starting out, it was all battle of the bands, and there was a competition going on, and we were glad to see the younger bands not doing that as much. There's
Makes
showcases,
no
that's different.
Sure.
Right? You're all working together to have a big show.
Yep.
But, we were all like, if you win this, you get recording time. Of course, back then that was a big deal.
Yeah. But we're working together with the prize at the end being, hey, we had a lot of fun and put on a good show.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, this band gets to walk away with a little trophy and I'm not saying I don't have trophies at home. I got one where I did 40 adult films in 30 days. It's huge. It's a huge trophy.
It's like a rocket ship.
It's huge. But anyway, it is great when people work together. When a community comes together, so much more gets done than when they fight over the scraps.
And as far as social media goes, that's big for everybody, because, those likes, those shares, that get your algorithms rolling, and it
more
helps.
People can actually interact with each other's posts even, so sharing it, also commenting, replying to comments, all that kind of stuff from one band to another, whatever it may be, just being active on there really builds the scene to be a greater, bigger, better thing, and what you guys do too here is amazing, kind of dedicating an entire show to the Riverbend talent, and, letting bands do something that they normally probably wouldn't be able to do, obviously recording at home and stuff like that has become an easier thing to do and whatnot, but, having something like this, and be able to leverage the video in the background that you got in the back end that you guys put together and stuff. It's just congratulations to you guys for doing it kind of by the seat of your pants, and in some degree like very cheap, like so it's like
after the start of this show, I know what he's really getting at.
You guys are flying by the seat of your pants, and it's not working.
Well, yeah, no, I mean you're using what's available to you to get out there and help other bands do the same, and then doing it, like I said, for very nominal
and again, it's not a competition. We've had band. We've had Favaz sitting here talking about Casey. We've had Andy Coco talking about KDH. You know, we're not even competing with other radio stations. Really, it's supposed to be about a community, not a big competition.
We just talked about Tony Willingham.
Yeah,
Beyond FM 24/7,
right.
which to me is like the coolest thing around. All local music all day. It's insane.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And by the way, he's kicked off Facebook, so he doesn't do
Yeah, he told me that. He told me that. There are people that should be kicked off, and Scrap's one of them, but I know people that shouldn't, and they're also kicked off, so that's a Facebook problem, so...
I might be in a Facebook halfway house by now. I don't know. I haven't really looked.
Fighting for your Facebook citizenship.
He hit me up to get at H7 even. He was like, hey, can you contact H7 on my behalf? That's the only way I can get in contact with his Facebook, and I'm kicked off right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, right on.
So he's an outstanding marketer, as you can tell.
I'm killing it over here.
You know, one stat you threw out 2 years ago, which I'm sure has changed.
Oh, yeah.
That on Spotify, there's 60,000 uploads a day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely probably gone up.
Yeah, it's definitely gone up.
And so with that much saturation, what you guys are talking about with Connect Video and how you guys are, you know, sharing with other bands is so important for other bands to learn this.
It almost forces you to go back to your grassroots. Because of all the noise. All the white noise.
You got to show support, show up for the other bands, you know, share their stuff, all that kind of stuff. It's a boots on the ground thing, but you can also sit on your couch and do something. So the music's out there, and you know, just like I'm sure everybody can like different genres of music and everything like that. You know, there's some that I'm not super fond of, but there's the ones that I love, and then I find I like new other genres because of those bands and stuff and their little twist to it. So yeah.
So from what I understand on Spotify, the big thing is getting on the right playlist.
Yeah, that's huge.
Absolutely.
And there's tactics behind that, and people can kind of look those up on YouTube and stuff like that. And there's definitely ways to do that. And then some of it's just pure luck,
right?
You know, so
like
it's a mixed bag.
I think one of the success stories to share is that we had somebody from randomly out in West Virginia contact the band page, and say like, "Hey, super huge fan. Is there anything I can do to get you guys to mail me like an autographed photo of you guys?
Wow.
Just to have as like a memorabilia thing." So we sent him like a whole care package.
Don't know him from Adam. So you got a shirt, an actual physical copy of the CD.
Yep.
We got printed out a picture of us, signed it, and yeah, it was cool.
Sent a whole care package back to him.
Yep.
And it was just someone randomly from West Virginia that just loves Birds of Squalor.
Yep.
Here's my grandma's brooch.
Yeah,
she left behind for me.
Yep, that's basically it.
Right. You actually like my music. You can have everything I own.
Which is not much.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's mainly bills. You have to assume all my debt.
Here's my water and sewage bill.
Send them all of like the political mailers that you kept over the season.
Oh man!
So get out there, check out the EP, Carry On, until we finally get a new one, which we're anxiously awaiting.
Yes.
It's coming.
You're going to do like one song at a time? You're going to do an EP? You're going to do like 8 songs? What do you think?
Plan is we're going to do another traditional EP and then pretty much work on the single release strategy.
Okay.
So it'll be kind of one cohesive piece of work, and then we'll do singles, and then once we get another batch that kind of help tell a story, we'll kind of do that. We've already got a whole plan with colors and the evolution and story and all that kind of stuff planned out. So it's going to be a mixed bag because we have some things, where the songs are great, but they're not cohesive with the other ones. So we're like, well, let's just do a single strategy. You're constantly putting new songs, and you build a whole event around it, market the fact it's going to come out, pre-saves on Spotify, create some kind of video, whether it be a lyric video or music video or a playthrough video, whatever it be, and then release the thing and then market that and, get that out
song
there.
Song by song.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So we're going to hear some of these new songs Saturday night, right?
Yep. We got 2 new ones in the set that we're playing currently for the half-hour set. When we get another hour set, we've got about 6 or 7 new songs in the rotation. So.
Yep.
So besides Saturday night, what do you guys got coming up beyond?
Yeah, so then we're at the Beyond FM showcase on March 23rd out at Pops with the Rehumanizers, 1781. We've got a list somewhere over here.
Don't look at our list. Yeah. That's only for this weekend.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And then Rehumanizers, 1781, us, and then 2 more. So
Roommate, the Randy's,
yeah,
1781, the Rehumanizers, and us.
Yep.
Go, Jamie. Go, Jamie.
And I'm excited to get on
Fast fingers.
I'm excited to get on Pop stage again for that amazing sound and light show. So
yeah.
it's gonna be nice.
Lots of room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
come see us in Alton. But if you really want to see the full Birds experience, the tap dance extravaganza, then the
clogging.
pop show, the
Clogging,
the clogging. I need to learn clogging.
I think so.
Yeah.
Clogging in vans.
You're gonna have to.
I'm
now.
going to Kohl's. I'm getting some Vans, then I'm going to learn how to clog in them.
Clogging vans.
Clogging in vans, man.
Come skateboarding in, kick the
I'm
vans
not
off.
skateboarding. I'm too old for that. Too old for that.
Kick
Chris
the vans
Van Hay
off.
wearing
put-
vans in a van.
Yep. Just gonna drive it home. Kick it. Beat the dead horse. Damn it.
There you go. And what's the date again on that, Pops? Just
It's
March
March
23rd.
23rd. It's a Saturday. Yep.
March 23rd. So if you Conservatory this weekend,
This Saturday.
this Saturday, March 23rd at Pops, your next 2 chances to check out the Birds of Squalor. the Birds of Squalor.
So, Chris, do you remember how we sign off? Do you want to do that part?
Oh,
I mean, you couldn't do the intro.
First, before he signs off, let me just thank Mr. Chris Vandehay, Chris of the High, and Jamie Fastfinger Duns.
Appreciate that.
So we
And let's say to Michael and Nate, Pishaw.
And
I
Josie.
find you both shallow and
and
pedantic.
Joe and Josie.
So we got a phrase we say.
And
I don't know if
Joey.
you remember it,
I don't.
but we always do the sponsors before. So that's Helping Music Company, and you want to do the other one?
Oh, Matt Van Boris. With, God, I want to get Jason Voorhees is what I'm doing
Right.
next with.
Sure.
Matt Van Horace with the Macias Insurance Company and Halpin Music Inc.
There you go.
Right.
Shirtless Matt Van Boris. That's the way I like to
Yeah.
think of him.
He's actually with everything. You know what Matt does? Matt tells us, he's like, mention my friends' businesses.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm cool. And exactly what you guys do. Share other band stuff. Matt shares his advertising. He's like, mention Town Club this week.
Talk about Mr. Donuts for a while
Yeah.
instead of me.
Yeah.
And he'll just keep paying us
Yeah.
to have us talk about other
No,
businesses.
it's a great spotlight,
because-
cross-referencing that kind of stuff. And then, Giver's Gain, right?
he's a giver.
Yeah, there's a book called
He
The
is
Go
not
Giver.
a selfish lover.
Yeah, there's a book called The Go Giver that really teaches that philosophy in the construct of a story. So,
Nice.
huge believer in it.
Excellent.
Well,
Thanks.
I got to figure out how to get people to listen all the way to the end of our video
Yeah.
so they know the phrase we
Right.
get, right? Because you don't know it. I know you watched our video.
I don't
Well, I know it.
Guilty as
He
charged.
I know it is simple. Get out and support local music.
I know this. I
What
didn't
do you
that was the
know?
sign.
Okay, then go ahead.
And get out and support live and local music
And art.
and art.